So in today's readings, you have this beautiful sandwich, if you will. So you have the first reading and you have the gospel talking about the light, and that light, of course, is Christ. So you have that light, and then right in the middle of it, you have Paul addressing his people saying, as we just heard, hey, don't let there be any divisions among you. And it's kind of weird slice of cheese in there, if you will, isn't it? But as I was reflecting on these readings and everything, especially during the course of the week, and especially that part of the addendum announcement where I said about the parking lot and the architect, is that what I've heard is that there's been grumblings going on about it. And that's why I say, have you seen a backhoe in the parking lot recently? No. So until then, don't worry about it. But one of the things that I've also heard that really kind of breaks my heart is that, when I hear people say, well, Father, when do you think that, starting construction on the new building? And honestly, I'll say, well, unless someone is driving by or calls me up with $3.5 million to give me, but I got ideas for fundraising. And you never know with the good Lord. So with those, it's like, well, it could be 15 years. And the response, especially the response that I got from one person was, oh no, what does it matter? I won't be around long enough to see it. And it's like, what? What? But that in itself is a form of that division. Because what's happening is that, when we jump, like I said up there at the altar, is that, wait a minute, hold the horses. We're Christians, for Pete's sakes. And I got ideas and things going on in my head that if somebody were to become miniature and jump inside my head, could never tolerate it. I got ideas. I got thoughts. We're a community, for Pete's sakes. Think what we accomplish when we come together. Think what we're accomplishing right now. I mean, hello, you guys drove through almost a minefield and then parked in the snow, and you're here. And you guys joining us via live stream, you're here. We're here. That's the grace of God. That's that bread, if you will. That's that light of Christ that brings us together. But also in our own personal lives. And someone approached me one time and said, Father, this is an awful lot. This is an awful lot. And I go, I know, I get it. I'm a realist. And I told him, I'm a realist, I'm an optimist, and I have faith. And that's where it comes in, is that in our personal lives, we are realists, we are optimists, we are human beings of faith. And if you can get division in there, what happens to the optimism and the faith component? It turns to pessimism, and it goes down. But my brother, that faith goes down. But my brothers and sisters, we live with Christ in us, with hope in us. And in our faith life, what we do is when we start turning to pessimism, when our faith is dwindling, when that light is going down a little bit, what we do is in that moment, we turn to the Lord in prayer, especially in formal prayer. Maybe it's sitting in the car, at the office, at the work area, wherever it may be, and we say, Lord, I'm turning into a pessimist and my faith is dwindling. I don't think that the impossible is possible in whatever area of our lives that may be affecting. And I'm not just talking about parking lot and future building now. I'm talking about our own personal lives. Because isn't it especially in that prayer life that the Lord responds to us and turns that from pessimism to optimism, from the dwindling of faith to faith? Isn't it in the communion that we're about to receive, when we receive Christ himself, when we receive light itself in the Eucharist? it turns. Isn't it within a community where, as I said, we're here, that it turns? So as we continue with our Eucharistic celebration today, and celebrate this wonderful, wonderful wet weather that the Lord has given us, replenishing our water supply, and this beautiful blue sky and white-capped mountains that he's given us, and the beauty that's around us, that the Lord has given us, no matter how small. Let us celebrate and know that we are realists, that we are optimists, that we are people of faith, united to Christ always, at any time. Amen? Amen. Let us stand.